So Taylor here from the Rhode Island Homeless Advocacy Project. We gather here today at the State House, at the governor's office, to call on the governor to declare a state of emergency for the unhoused and unsheltered crisis facing people in our state. We are members of the Rhode Island Homeless Advocacy Project, the Housing Opportunities for People Everywhere Hope Group, Gathered Together United as One, Rhode Island Poor People's Campaign, Better Lives Rhode Island, Matheson Street Church Housing Justice Committee, and I think the West Warwick's Health Equity Zone, and a growing list of other groups and individuals. We bring signatures of people collected on short notice from across the state who join this call and petition you to act. There are over 500 people living without shelter in our state. There are over 1,500 living in shelters, many in congregate shelters, meaning like 100 people sleeping in a gymnasium. Shelters that do not meet their individual needs, force them to roam the streets during the day, conditions that are, frankly, inhumane and without real dignity. And even worse, some shelter beds may be closing later this month or next. But people need housing and shelter every month, year-round. And for those living in tent encampments, they face police raids and harassment that unfairly targets them. This needs to end. We call on the governor to declare this state of emergency and use your powers fully to get people sheltered and housed. One person outside is too many, and 500 plus is outrageous. Homelessness is fueled by the larger housing shortage, super high rents, and the eviction crisis in our state, and from treating housing as a commodity for profit instead of a human right. People without shelter are victims of this crisis, a man-made disaster. Treat and serve them as you would those made homeless by a natural disaster. We call on you, we petition you. And I think we're going to have someone who's going to read a statement that goes along with this call for the state of emergency. Yeah, Matt. Yeah, yes, Matt. Thank you, Matt.
Yep. As of the end of March 2024, Rhode Island had 2,089 people experiencing homelessness, 1,560 in emergency shelters, and 529 living outside. The number of people experiencing homelessness has nearly doubled, and the number experienced unsheltered homelessness has risen by over 600% since 2019. 2,010 households have been evicted since January 2024 due overwhelmingly to their inability to pay the skyrocketing rent. There are hundreds on the waiting list for shelters and thousands on the waiting list for housing. Municipalities and police in the state have continuously harassed people experiencing homelessness and have raided their homeless encampments, which are often their last resort due to the lack of adequate shelter and housing. Therefore, the Rhode Island Homeless Advocacy Project and our individual and organized allies call on Governor McKee to declare a state of emergency due to the shelter and unhoused crisis in Rhode Island, to increase the number of year-round 24-hour quality shelter beds with wraparound social services and with effective processes to quickly move people and families into permanent housing. 2, expedite the use of the state of Rhode Island and municipal resources, including land and buildings, to provide shelter beds and permanent housing. 3, make available emergency response funding for this human-caused disaster that is comparable to what is made available when people are displaced due to natural disasters.
Excellent. Thank you, Matt. Now, there's some other people I think that want to speak, and that would be great because other people know this crisis personally and know it better than I do. And so let's see if, Rachel, would you like to speak?
I want to say, what will happen if May 31st ends at Motel 6, and we will be on the street? What will happen? We will be on the street, and everybody will be at Pride. We'll be on the street, and we won't have no apartment or nothing. And I have animals and everything like that. I'm scared, and I have a brace on my foot. I can't be on the street, and rent is so high for apartment, and I can't be where on the street. So it's like I can't afford no apartment on my own.
Right.
Nobody can. Not one person.
No one.
Not one person can afford
I had to have an apartment like with roommates, and no apartments out there for anyone.
Excuse me, do you want to say something, Lindy?
I want to say that my name is Karen, and I'm currently sheltered at Motel 6 in Warwick, and I am fearful what will happen when this program runs out, which they are talking about, and I will be homeless and with nowhere to go. Housing is a basic human right for everyone deserves. Governor McKee, we demand that you create more shelter, more space, affordable housing, so that every Rhode Islander will have a safe space to rest their head at night. Yes. That's what we're asking for.
Yes, here, here.
It's very important for everybody involved.
Well done. Very good. Yeah, so Terry, or is it, and then get this
I just want to say, here we are again. It's sickening. It's causing a lot of harm. My name is Terry Wright. I'm a community advocate. I'm also a member of REJC, Racial Environmental Justice Committee. I'm also the tri-chair for the Poor People's Campaign. And I'm also an impacted person. And I just want to start by saying that poverty is the 4th leading cause of death. 529 people are forced to live in poverty 24/7 without adequate and decent shelter. Now, please, I'm saying take a moment to imagine not being able to protect yourself from extreme weather conditions. Or during 0-degree weather, or during a heat wave and blistering temperatures in the summer months. The downpour of rain, ice, wind, and snow. Where is the harm reduction? All I see is entrapment. Seasonal beds are an insult to humanity. The lack of coordination and meaningful housing reforms is killing people throughout the state of Rhode Island. Housing is a human right, and we need to treat it as such. Encampments are not allowed in our state. Where do they go? Raids of homeless encampments are still happening. These are not raids for drugs or criminal activity, but because someone called the governor or the mayor or the police with NIMBYism, which is a racist practice, not in my backyard. When did sleeping in public spaces become a crime? And why isn't being forced to live outdoors considered a crime? Old world politics, this is exactly what it is. Nothing more than a tradition of the old world political structures that resist change and fail to adapt to today's world of evolving needs. Our city and state find money when money is needed. There are no tenant protections to stop landlords from pricing out tenants, individuals, and families. Landlords are more than tripling what is expected of the tenants to pay. Families are being displaced. 636 evictions filings in the past month. Evictions are up 124%. 468 of those evictions are due to non-payment. And the news flash here is, it doesn't take policy to save lives in a state of emergency.
Right.
Being forced to live outdoors is a state of emergency for the homeless and unsheltered. Being forced to live outdoors is an act of violence, perpetuating civil unrest and social vulnerability. We hear a lot of stories about budget and money, and I just want to say those are all BS excuses. I'm upset.
The lived experience.
Where is the support from our local businesses? I mean, there's plenty of complaints of social loitering at storefronts. Where are they? Because I believe that Rhode Islanders, everyone who owns a business should be here in agreement. And because this could be any one of us. This is a state of emergency for anyone who is forced to live outdoors 24/7. There are no 24-hour bathrooms, no porta potties, but construction workers have porta potties for the few hours that they are on the job. No hand washing stations, no sanitizer. Where is the compassion? Where is the help? Where is the healing that needs to begin? We need the state of Rhode Island to pass the Homeless Bill of Rights with all of its revisions as it relates to the safety of Rhode Island's homeless population. And you can read for yourself online, that's House Bill 7967. Where is the public safety for the unsheltered? Just bodies to the ground, in the grass, behind buildings. You can't even live in a tent. And that's how they have to live until they have shelter, out there unsheltered. Being forced to live outdoors, again, I'm gonna say it, is an act of violence without harm reduction.
Yes.
And we are seeing a decrease in homeless shelters across the nation. But that's what other states are doing. That should not be us in Rhode Island when we have space, when we have empty buildings, both from city and state, that sit empty while folks are forced to live outdoors without any shelter or tent.
That's right. Yeah.
So Governor McKee, we are calling for you to act with urgency. Enact a state of emergency for Rhode Island and save lives.
Yay. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
I'm Derek Harris. I got a pacemaker in my chest. I used to live outdoors in tents when it has 0 below with the snow. And I have forced to leave because people just scatter everywhere. And I want to say something. I don't know if y'all back me up. Governor McKee, we can switch places.
Right.
Let me be in the doors. Let him be out there for 1 month.
All right.
He won't survive. Trust. You can ask anybody here. It's hard out there. It's hard. You like the sister says, you can't go in public restrooms. Oh, you need to buy something. You got to hurry up. I'm like, it wasn't like that 20 years ago. Everybody, the rent was $600-700 for 1 bedroom or 1 studio is $1,800 to $2,100. We can't afford this.
No.
He needs to lower the prices of the rent so we can survive in apartments. Like I said, I'm gonna say it again. Governor McKee, I should be in the office, and he should be out there. That's all I have to say.
Thanks, Derek. Excellent, Derek.
I want to share a song. Everybody has to sing with me, though.
Come on up here, Pam.
Do I have to?
Yes.
Okay. It's really easy. Everybody's got a right to live.
Yes.
Everybody's got a right to live. We say poverty no more. We want housing for the poor. Everybody's got a right to live. Okay, wait a second. This is serious. Everybody's got a right to live. Everybody's got a right to live. We say poverty no more. We want housing for the poor. Everybody's got a right to live. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I only will say one thing, okay? Only one thing, okay? I have seizures and hot murmur, and if I go outside in May 31st and live outside in a tent, I won't make it outside. And I have a brace on my foot. I already broke a tent, and I want 2 tents. And I have a balance problem. And I want the governor know I will not make it outside. And I have a trauma in my head, and I won't make it outside.
Thank you, Ruth.
And I will let the governor know.
We're not going to let you be outside.
Can I say something?
Thank you, Rachel. Go ahead, Serenity.
Hi, I'm Serenity from Motel 6 for Live Behavioral Health. I just wanted to say, Governor Dan McKee, could you please find it in your heart to help the homeless? They kill people out there with guns, and people are dying. We need to compromise, put a cap, lower the rent, stop judging people who are homeless with records. So can you please, in the goodness of your heart, help us? Thank you.
Thanks, Serenity.
Excuse me. Hi, my name is Sharon. For approximately 4 weeks ago, we were allowed through CES to go to open doors at Motel 6. 2 weeks ago, the room above us flooded due to a bathroom leak. They fixed the hallway, but not my bathroom. It happened again last night after they were told not to put anybody else in that room. They called the police on us. They trespassed me and my boyfriend, and the owner of Motel 6 swore at my boyfriend in Portuguese. All right, for no reason. I wasn't breaking any of their rules. I made curfew. My room is clean. All right, and I addressed this problem for over 2 weeks. Nothing happened. There is no ventilation in any of those bathrooms, nor is there a sprinkler system in that building. And I also had a light fixture over my sink in my kitchen that was live wires that if it dangled and let go, I would be electrocuted as I did dishes. And I'm also handicapped and disabled, and they did not have me in a handicap accessible room. Please, we're human beings first. All right, why do you have to stereotype us? Because we have a backpack on our back? People become homeless for different reasons.
Yes.
All right, it's not just drugs and alcoholism.
Right.
Natural disasters happen. I was in Hurricane Ian a year and a half ago in Florida. My trailer and everything was destroyed. It forced me to come back to Rhode Island because there is no help for the homeless in Florida. You pay to stay in a shelter. The Salvation Army allows you to stay 30 days for $8 a day. And you're not even in a building, you're housed in a huge tent with cots. The homeless, if they're caught on trespassable land, they're arrested. You go to jail. They go up with infrared helicopters at night to find the encampments, and they get raided by the sheriff's department the next day. All right? They sleep under bridges, and the sheriff's department or the Orlando PD wakes you up at 5 o'clock in the morning, lights and sirens. You have to clear the area. All right? If you're caught at the bus terminal after the last bus, you're arrested because you're trespassing. All right? I've survived all this, but now I need knee replacement surgery, and that was my way to get it. And they evicted us for no reason, for going to them with a problem. And the staff blatantly disrespected my boyfriend. The open door staff asked my boyfriend to come outside so that they could have a fight with him over this. It's unfair. Our basic human rights, and we're being humiliated. All right? We're human beings first. We shouldn't be treated like animals. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm Bruce. I'm also a resident at Motel 6 in Jefferson Boulevard. The whole thing of it is, you know, it's not only doing with saying that people are being homeless because of drugs, alcohol, their background, or whatever this case may be, but you got to realize that everybody has all walks of life, all homeless conditions. It's true. And you know, the rents are skyrocketed. For a 4-bedroom, they want over $4 grand for a 4-bedroom. And for a studio apartment, they want, say, $2 grand for it. For a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, they want another $2 grand, $2,500. You know, the caps need to be happening, and landlords need to be told what's going on. And hopefully landlords do have a heart that will sit there and open up their places of residence so that way their people can live. It's hard to be on the streets. Me and my fiance, we've been on the streets from, since 2023, 2022. And the whole thing of it is, though, it's rough out there. We were camped on our State House property for almost a year. And then we went to Motel 6. Motel 6 conditions are reportable. It's, you know, you got rats, you got roaches, you got bed bugs, you got the disrespect by the building manager, sitting there threatening to run you over, sitting there threatening to, you know, do you bodily harm, telling you to watch your back. You know, and then you go and apologize, be civil about it, and he doesn't want to hear it. He sits there and still continues to threaten. If he's gonna have a business and you're gonna have people living there, then have a little bit of common courtesy and respect. But that's not the point. The point is everybody should have a place to live.
That's right.
Not just people who can pay for it.
That's right.
You know, and that's what the building manager over at Motel 6 wants to do, is evacuate everybody that's homeless and remodel and everything, and then have the people who are coming in and paying customers. That's not right. Everybody should have a place to live, no matter what the circumstances. That's all I got to say.
Everybody's got a right to live.
That's right.
Everybody has a right to live.
Everybody has a right to live.
One quick thing. I've found trying to deal with agencies for the homeless is such a lack of communication. If you try to call CES for a rapid rehousing, they'll send you to Crossroads. You go to Crossroads and they send you back to CES. So there's no communication with these agencies on how to succeed, how to continue on when they don't know how to handle the situation. So that's also one of the biggest issues with these agencies. And it just goes on and on. So that's all I want to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Important. Oh, yeah, sure.
Reverend Wendy Van Orden. I'm part of the ministry team at Mathewson Methodist Church. I believe in the universal United Nations Bill of Rights, human rights, and housing and food, of course, with children starving in our world, are concerns for all of us. What I see in my daily ministry is the psychological and spiritual harm and sadness and disheartened damage to souls. And I want to be there to encourage, to stand beside, to let people know they are of value and that they deserve safety and a place to stay.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you very much, Wendy.
Well, so thank you, everyone who spoke. I think.
So we're on to present petitions.
Right. So we want to now next present our petition, our call for the state of emergency by the governor for the unhoused and the unsheltered crisis. Matt has the petitions here, and I guess we're going to deliver them, not to the governor personally, he's not available apparently, but to, this is your first name? David, who is a constituent service provider for the governor. You know, we're going to continue to gather signatures. We obviously want a response from the governor on this as soon as possible. I'm not exactly sure what that should be, but this has obviously been on his plate and a growing crisis for months or now even years, so he should be able to give us an answer, I would think, in days, and we'll be looking forward to hearing that. And so Matt, if you want to present and maybe unfold and show, these were just collected in 2 or 3 days, really.
Yeah, that was a great presentation. Absolutely.
Said unfolded, so I unfolded it.
Right. I think that's cool. Oh shit. Oh yeah, this is gonna go also. Good. No, that's going too? Yeah. This is another one that's not saved to it. Okay.
This is one petition. This is another.
Well, no, it's a part of that. Sure. Someone handed me that last minute.
Sure.
And those are signatures as well.
Yeah, these are also signatures here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Did you want to say anything?
All I can say, and I'm happy to say it, for those who I've heard some stories, our office is 6 people. We talk to people all the time, some homeless, some different people throughout the state. So if those are here today that hasn't contacted our office, you can come with me now down to our office, to our 4 associates with us, and we'll try to help you get services if you need them, or if you have a story to tell, we'll be happy to document that for you. And at the end of the day today, I will be obviously delivering this to the governor. I'm his constituent service director. We tell him what's good, what's bad, all the things. I know the governor is on this issue. I know that he's working with the General Assembly on this issue, and I encourage you all to reach out to our office when you can. And I think I left my contact information with Eric. So for those who want to come down with me to our office in room 144, you're more than welcome. And I can at least see if we can try to find you a service, or I know you all probably been through CES, but we can at least document it, get it in the system, and try to at least provide some relief for you.
Could you give a message to the governor?
Sure.
Just to say that if this issue continues to be overlooked with the unhoused, unsheltered folks, there will always be budget problems. There's always going to be problems in the budget.
Sure.
The state's budget, whether it's emergency room visits, prison stays, you know, I don't know what else to say, death. We're just really trying to clean up Rhode Island and maybe just become a staple community for other states to look at.
Sure, that's cool.
Not Florida.
And there'll be another meeting of the Rhode Island Homeless Advocacy Project at Matheson Street Methodist Church next Thursday at noontime. Anyone is invited to come to that and to share stories of what is, happening, and to try to build this campaign for this declaration of the state of emergency, and for really like the needs of the people that are living outside, living in shelters that may close, living in substandard conditions in shelters, and all of the things that have been talked about here. I don't know if there's anything else, any last remarks, but I think we can conclude here and continue. But yeah, we have another remark.
Yeah, I just got a small thing to say about the homeless vets and the homeless handicapped community that's out there. We have a couple people in Motel 6 that are handicapped, that have limbs cut off and stuff like that. What's going to happen in May when the program ends? What are they going to do with those individuals that are in wheelchairs, that have oxygen? So, that's the main thing, is that, what's going to happen with those individuals as well, because they ain't got no real, other place to go. They don't have any resources to fall back on. None of the family's helping. Nobody's helping them to do what they got to do. So, we just want something from Dan McKee that's going to help those individuals as well as us to solve the issue about being homeless.
Right. No, you're right.
Thanks, housing Bruce. Is health, absolutely. Al?
I'm working with the director of the Disabled American Veterans in the state of Rhode Island. His name is Sal. We're opening up a day center in West Warwick right now for the veterans, homeless veterans, to come spend the day, get something to eat. So we need not leave our veterans out too. It's everybody that this really affects.
Even high school students. You want to see higher test scores, because a lot of things are going on with the public school infrastructure. We got to fix this housing crisis first.
I want to say one more thing quickly. The General Assembly, bills are brought before the governor, and he signs them or he doesn't sign them. There are a lot of, what do they call them? Or not ordinances. There's a lot of bills that are in the General Assembly, the Senate, and the House right now. So I think if we go and we lobby them, because and we really lobby them about what our thing is, because they're the ones that are making the bills. Dan McKee, he signs them, and I think I was talking with someone. I think we need to lobby the General Assembly, not protest, lobby them. I can show people how to do that if you don't know how. We can go and we talk to the General Assembly. They meet at 3 o'clock every day. I think it's almost every day here. Senate's on one side, the House of Representatives on the other side. We can lobby them. We can bring papers with them. We can make pamphlets up. We can give to them, so they know we need to educate them as to what our plight is, as to what our folks are going through. And that was brought to my attention. It's a really good idea.
I just want to say one thing quickly is the other concern with houseless, and I'm disabled too, is the mental health of individuals and the access to care, right? It's only so much you can go to Butler, right? And if you can. So people's mental health, physical health, all health also matters, and access to treatment or whatever you need, plus a bed and food and a shower, all of that is important.
Thank you. And maybe I would just say, like everything that's been said in terms of lobbying, there is some very important legislation. Lobbying, that's important. Supporting the housing bond that's coming up and getting the state to increase it to $150 million, which is still not going to be enough, is certainly important. All those things are important, but today I think we're coming to the door of the governor to say, fully use in a creative, passionate manner all of the executive powers that the governor has. It's it. Do I know exactly what those are? No, I'm not the governor, but the governor is. Just like the president of the United States can use executive powers to get things done when Congress doesn't do it, the governor, I believe, has some of those same powers. There's a lot of state land in this state. Let's make it available. They've made one parcel from the Department of Transportation available for a new shelter not too far from here that's coming up sometime later in the spring. But there's other, that's not enough.
One is not
There's
enough.
still 500 or more people living outside. It's a daily emergency. People die, their lives are shortened by the trauma and the physical abuse that living outside takes. This is a day-to-day, hour-to-hour issue that needs a response.
I just want to say there's not a piece of policy that exists that is going to save lives today. Enact the state of emergency and get folks indoors. Thank you.
Okay, thanks everyone.